Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another replay by Kaelaris. I actually did make it into Diamond last night, so I'm quite happy about that. I only played one or two games. I'm about ranked 20th in there, so I should be okay. Anyway, I am spawning in the 9 o'clock position, and my opponent, Jakozk, is spawning in the 12 o'clock position. It's a PvZ. I was going to do another PvP, but after the last one I thought that would get a bit boring, so I wanted to spin it up a little bit, as it were. Jakozk is a diamond player, again about rank 20th in his division, so I actually played this game whilst I was in platinum, so we'll see how it goes. I just want to say firstly that I forgot to include it in my first video, but I'd like to give a shout out to StarCraft, Husky, and HD. Those guys sort of inspired me to get this channel up and running. It's especially StarCraft. Wishing him all the best of luck in the HD-H2, as I'll be rooting for him, even though he doesn't play Protoss. But watching him play Zerg and his replays are quite amusing. Anyway, I'm just putting up my first pylon, and he's sending his first scout in. Putting down my first gateway. Nothing too major going on at the moment. I imagine he'll be getting his spawning pool quite soon. Yep, there it goes. And I'm just going to speed this up a little bit, because it's just standard stuff at the moment. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Obviously, he's gone for his gas quickly to get his speed up, hopefully. I imagine. And I'm throwing down my cybernetics core. I'm boosting out a few zealots. I'll slow it down a bit now. That's okay. Sending my first scout to see what's going on in his base, and he is indeed getting Zergling speed. That metabolic boost. Injecting with his queens. He's got his overlords in nice positions here, making sure that I'm not doing anything too tricky. And as you can see here, I'm placing a pylon behind the vapors. This will come into play quite soon, but unfortunately this overlord might see it, which is quite annoying. Anyway, just continuing to kind of bolster my forces here, putting down a few zealots and making a nice little choke so he can't get in with any Zerglings. He's sending a few Zerglings to come and have a look into my base now, but unfortunately he won't get anywhere with that. Just continuing to produce the Zerglings from Jakozk here. Not doing anything too major, but he has got an expansion at the gold, and we shall soon see how this plays out. It's a bit risky, but hopefully it should go okay for him. This overlord getting perilously close to my pylon, and I'm throwing down 2 stargates, bearing in mind I did not see this overlord at this point in time. But I believe he does see this Stargate, and will prepare for it. Throwing down my 2 gas here, as you can see. Going for a gas-heavy build, to a certain degree. Again, we shall see how this plays out. Hopefully I will be able to pull it off. Throwing down 2 Stargates, and he does see these, so... Again, he'll be preparing for it effectively, I imagine. Has his speed up now, just kind of running around. And upgrading to a layer. So I imagine he's seen these, seen these 2 Stargates, and will be going for Hydras, I imagine, quite soon. Which are the bane of anything I'm going to do at this point, I imagine. Am I correct? Yes. This expansion going up now, and I imagine he'll be taking some drones down here anytime soon. Or just producing some drones here, regardless. As I say, again, I do not see this current expansion, much to my dismay. I was assuming he'd have an expansion here, but didn't. And he's producing now drones here to get this saturated. As you can see, I am producing Phoenixes. Recently I have been liking going Phoenixes against Zerg. It would have worked a hell of a lot better if he hadn't have scouted it with this bloody overlord. But we'll see how it goes. Just massing the Phoenixes now, getting some nice chrono boosts off on there, making sure that my entrance is more protected than anything, and throwing down a forge to just secure this entrance to make sure he doesn't do anything too tricky. As you can see here, he's getting this base up and running, getting a nice bit of gold, taking the lead in the economy a little bit. How are we doing on the income? As you can see, he's got a hell of a lot more than me, an extra 50% income more than me, so it's looking quite bad for me currently. Massing up these hydras in order to make sure that he can fend off my phoenix attacks, but going in for a little bit of harass, making sure I'm taking out these overlords, and this is what I'm on about when I'm saying establishing map control. Phoenixes give you superior map control against Zerg. They're always constantly playing on the defensive, but I'm running into those a bit of mismanagement there, trying to find a way in to do a bit of harass. Seeing this overlord, but I actually don't go for it because it's a bit too near to these hydras, and he's starting to spread his creep quite nicely. Again, I currently do not see this expansion. Just constantly pumping the phoenixes to get out enough to fully make them viable. It's a bit of a pain in the arse when you've only got 2 to 3 phoenixes. They kind of make themselves obsolete because you don't have enough energy to pick up drones and things like that. Again, still trying to find ways in, but these hydras are moving around nicely. He's spotting them and where they're going and things like that. He does have these 2 towers at this point, so he's knowing where I am. But at this point, I do see this expansion very sort of lucky, to be honest. I must admit, I didn't intend to scout this. So he's just continuing to produce the drones here, and I'm coming in for the harass, taking out this queen so that I can effectively take out these drones. But again, there is nothing he can do at this point. He cannot move out with these hydras, and he cannot move out with these